Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope everybody had a productive and good week. We're just warming up the YouTube, so people are just jumping on. So maybe we got a list of people that, yeah.
Art said good morning.
Oh, Art, how you doing, buddy?
He's the only one.
Art's the only one? No, there's 20.
No, there's 21 people. Art's the only one that said hi. Oh, there's TC.
Oh, it's good sunny morning over there where you are, huh, Art? Like you told me the other day you had a cup and a half of sunshine. Hey, TC. Hey, TC, did you get that email off to support so you could help your friend? Good morning. Good morning, Laurel. Tucson. Hey, Kevin, Tucson. How you guys coming down there?
They got the sunshine too.
Yeah, I know. It was 70 something yesterday in Phoenix. Nice.
What was it in Tucson? Probably 80.
Yeah, probably.
Kevin, we'll come see you.
Yeah. Hey, James, how are you? Steven from Minneapolis. It's cold there, I bet.
Lori's here.
Hey, Lori, North Carolina.
Morehead City.
Morehead City. You're going to open up pretty soon. I'm going to talk about that a little bit once we get going to show what productivity looks like. Congratulations on doing a phenomenal job there. Michael, hey, I saw your stuff this morning. Looks really good.
We'll get it posted up after the call.
Yeah.
In the Facebook group.
Yeah. Let's see.
Dane is in Allentown.
Oh, Dwayne. Hey, good morning, Dwayne. Thanks for all your help this past week. You've been super. Dwayne went out in the sleet and the snow and rain and all that stuff, getting some deliveries out for us.
So you guys that put a comment on YouTube, we get one almost every training. When is there going to be a delivery? You talked to Dwayne. Dwayne was delivering yesterday. There's been deliveries.
Yep. So we'll get started here in a minute. Let's see who else is on here. Of course, William, good morning. Want to give a big shout out to William and Scott for doing a hell of a job with ABC News, keeping me informed that they want to do a interview about the company. And I think some of you might have seen it. We posted it up, but it was very favorable. We got a lot of positive comments, orders, a bunch of stuff started happening. So once we get a few more things wrinkled out where we can start doing productive retail advertising in the Nashville market, including Franklin and what's the other market there? Brentwood. We'll get on it. We can see the results just from that little, blurb we got on the news. So we're getting close, but we got to get more drivers and more restaurants up. Let's see, Sacramento. Joseph's in the house. Hey, Bruno. Bruno's in the house.
Bruno's in Northern California. He signed up 2 restaurants in Napa.
Yeah, I know. All he's got to do is get the rest of the restaurants in Napa and you have yourself a nice little business. That's exactly what Lori's doing in Morehead City.
Bruno, you're very convincing because the restaurant team said, oh, Bruno said there's only about 10 restaurants in Napa. And Evelyn said, no, there's a lot of restaurants in Napa.
Yeah, because you got to look at the surrounding market of Napa itself. Right. But and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Let's see, Jeff Willis.
Is there a copy of video available? What video?
Are you talking about from the Saturday meetings like this? You can go on the YouTube channel. They're all there. They're all posted. Everything we do this videoed is on the YouTube channel.
Oh, Ruby. Still coming to see you, Ruby, in Hawaii.
Yeah. And Deborah, hi, how are you? Chicago. Let's get that market open. I was talking to a group out of Chicago just the other day. They're ready to get going there. So as soon as we do a few more things the next 4 or 5 days with them, we'll get those guys started. And let's see, good morning from Olympia, Washington, Puget Sound. Going to open that market up right away. Get those guys going. Okay, Jim Clover, what part of California are you in? I don't know who's asking the question of Jim, or Jim's asked the question of somebody else.
You might want to fix Evelyn's
What's that?
misspeak about California.
Oh yeah, so one of the questions that came up the other day, are we going to open California? And Evelyn was asked the question and she said no, but what she meant, no, not tomorrow, no, we're not opening. We're definitely opening California. Just depends where we get concentration to open. If it's going to be Napa, that's fine. I mean, go up there and knock out, 25, 30 restaurants and let's open the market. We can always back into San Francisco, and you got Santa Rosa, you've got, San Pablo, Oakland, you got all of those in that corridor up there that you can go after the market, go across the bay. It's probably, thousands of restaurants in San Francisco itself. It could be 5,000, 6,000, who knows?
And that's what she meant.
Yeah.
We have to be careful what we say because you guys take it as the gospel.
One of the things that came up over the last couple of days was the UK just passed a law, and they're requiring gig drivers to become employees, or they're designating them as employees. Keep in mind, under our business model, we don't have that issue because these are not even independent contractors with us. We don't even contract them. It's really the credit card processor sends out their 1099. They license to get on our platform, and that's how the whole system works. So hopefully we're not going to be bothered too much with those kinds of legal problems. I don't think we will. Our lawyers don't think we will, but you never know. Let me get started here. I want to bring everybody up to speed where we are in Canada. We're almost there on Canada. One of the issues, the last bit of issue that came up the other day, is that the SSN number and the SIN, which is Canadian, are both 9-digit numbers, and we source out of the same database. So we got to make sure that there's not a crossover of the same number in Canada that we're using in the United States. Anyway, they should have that sorted out by Monday. The apps are all updated. Last bit I saw was last night. So all of the Androids were done the other day. iOS was done through the last couple of days in different pieces we're getting approved, but I think they're all completed and up to date right now. So that means once they sort out the SIN, SSN, they can turn it on. Everything else is up and running. So that's a bit on Canada. I suspect we'll make some pretty good inroads there pretty quickly with our business model. We have a couple of, the ghost kitchens that we're going to light up. And then we also have the Caribbean restaurant there, got 25 locations. So that they're ready to go. So once we get open, they can start, getting them registered in the system. For those that don't know, and some of you do know, Scott and William were contacted by ABC News in Nashville. And they kept me in the loop, and they wanted to do an interview about the company. So I did I don't know, it's probably a 1 minute, maybe less interview blurb that we got on ABC News in Nashville. So it was very good for us. It put us out there. People know we're in the game, and we're going to get real serious here pretty soon in Nashville. And once we do, we'll start lighting up other markets, Orlando. In fact, I had call from George Graham yesterday, not a call, but a text. And they want some of the restaurants that are already associated with restaurant managers want to start getting signed up with us. And we can't until we get the API finished because the way this deal's structured with us and them. But they were excited to get going because they see the value in what we got, and they don't want to keep paying higher prices for deliveries. Anyway, that was a good move on Scott and Williams on the news thing. And George Graham's just gonna, stay in the hunt till we get this thing up and running with restaurant managers. But they're excited to get going. Their people are excited, so that's the best thing. So what we got to do is put real drivers on the ground in these markets. So you guys got to start really recruiting into these markets so we can open them. If we don't have drivers, we don't have a business. And so it's up to you guys to make a business out of this if you want. So anyway, so that's where we're at with that. Order cancellations. Let me talk about that for a second. That's important. So you understand, every ride or every delivery company has a no cancellation policy after 2 minutes or so. And the reason for that is if you order something and you decide 10 minutes later, oh, I don't want it, and you try to cancel it, well, the food prep's already done in the restaurant. They already started cooking your meal. So they're going to be out of pocket. So you got to take the burden, or at least as you're, signing up people or consumers or whatever, always talk about that, because that's really important. We're going to have a little pop-up when a person orders. It's going to say, here's exactly no cancellation, no refund policy. You cannot, cancel the order, because they're going to have to throw it away if you do. So you're better off just taking it after you've ordered it and do whatever you're going to do with it. So anyway, I hope you understand that. The other thing is, there's some misnomer about the market tracker. The market tracker is live, it's up, and it's collecting data all the time. It's real-time data. So if you signed up a restaurant right now, you click submit, guess where that shows up? In the market tracker right then, because it's all driven out of our database.
As long as they pay.
Yeah, as long as they're the $1 pay or paid in full, whatever it might be, but it'll show up immediately. On the restaurants, if you clicked on it, it'll show you the address of the restaurant. There's a little icon, so it'll give you the address. On the driver, we don't give you any information on the driver, obviously, for privacy reasons, but the restaurant's right there. So if you're in a market and you're interested, you can go on your phone, you can get in your back office, you can look up market tracker, click on it, click on the little icons wherever your market is, and you can see what's going on in the market. So use that. It's a tool, and it is live, and it's real time. So somehow the word got out, it wasn't real time, or it wasn't 100%. It's 100%. So, and it drives out of our database. It's using Google technology. See what else? Free. Okay. So, just so you know, on the market tracker, if somebody signs up for free, it will not show up on market tracker. Okay. And I'm trying to discourage you guys from signing up for free, and you still do it. And all you're doing is causing a bigger problem to go back and then relight these people up and do all the other stuff, move them into whatever they're going to be if they're, paid their $1, if they're paying in full. We have a process, use it. It makes everybody's life simple. I love it. I get, TC sent me an email the other day, saying, hey, I got a friend that's got a problem, blah, blah, blah. And he expects me to be his customer service guy. And I said, did you contact support? And he said, well, we tried to contact. There's no trying. You go click on support and send your information. And we have people standing by. They can fix a problem faster than I can, believe me, because I'm not in the loop on what they're working on every second of every day. They are. So you use the support, use the process in place. It's there for a reason. It's to make your life easier, not your life harder.
And if there's a problem and they have a question, it will get escalated to Evelyn or me or you.
Yeah, it gets escalated. If it's really a problem, we're going to put people on it right away to solve it, or get a hold of tech and get them to resolve it. So just be aware of that. We're here to help. But sending something to me doesn't necessarily is going to get done faster, because I have my plate full too, which is not customer service. And, I can deal with a certain amount of stuff, but, if I got 10 support tickets, or not support tickets, but requests by me to fix stuff, none of the other stuff that I have to do would get done. So anyway, so that's good. I want to talk about Lori for a second, Morehead City. So Lori contacted us about, 6 weeks ago. And maybe it's a little bit longer than that. And she asked a very simple question. She says, I live in this small town outside of Raleigh. It's a beach city. And there's about 30 restaurants I could onboard. If I onboard those, will you open the market? And I said, of course, I'll open the market for you. And I said, you're going to have the right requisite of drivers and the right consumers to open a market, because the worst thing in the world is you get 30 restaurants, you only have 5 drivers. It won't work, right? So anyway, she got the 30 restaurants signed up. They're all on board. She's done what I would call a superior job on what she's trying to get done. She's printed her own marketing materials. She spent her own money developing the restaurant email list that the restaurants have, so she can reach out to their customer base for the restaurants because they're so busy. So she's doing all the right support activity. So think about this. She's going to have 30 restaurants. She'll have the right number of requisite drivers by the 15th of March. She'll have the right consumers, downloads, because she's working her business every day. I don't know what time she gets up, but I'm sure she has a whole routine that she goes through to follow up. She was in one of the restaurants the other day, and a DoorDash rep came in. This is a story I was told. So I hope I'm right, Lori.
This is like telephone, though. This comes through 3 people.
Yeah. So it's whispered down the lane. So by the time I get it, it'll be a giant story. So, but anyway, supposedly a DoorDash rep came in. She was in the restaurant with the owner. And the rep said, we'll give you 2 free months and some other stuff of deliveries. And the owner said, no, we're staying with Trip Delivers. We like their business model. They save us a lot more money, et cetera, et cetera. So there is a testimonial right there that's explosive, because that will build your confidence to understand when a restaurateur says that, and it's what I've been preaching for years now, but particularly in the last 4 or 5 months, we have a superior business model, and you can see it, like the guy in Orlando calling up, George and saying, hey, one of my restaurants wants to go right now. How can we get them up? Well, the answer, yes, we could, but it would just make everything as ugly as possible when we got ready to put everybody else up. So we're better off just holding off. And I know they want to go, and so do we. Believe me, I'd love to put 2,000 restaurants up of restaurant managers and then fill in with another 2,000 or 3,000 others. We'd be on the map overnight, and you guys would be looking pretty happy. But Lori's, going back to her, has done just a masterful job. She's working very hard. So if you guys want to see that in process, how she did it, Bruno, you can do the same thing up in Napa. I'm sure they have 30 restaurants in Napa. You can go get all of those people, sign them up, go get some drivers in the market, the requisite number to handle 30 restaurants, right consumer base, and there you go, bang, you're in business. And you get all the commissions out of those 30 restaurants.
Yeah, what was the numbers you were putting together for Lori the other day? He was telling me, Lori, if she has this many restaurants and this many deliveries, she's gonna make
X dollars
something a day. I mean, he was like so excited for you, Lori. So we're all excited for you.
I'm excited for her. I'm excited for George Graham, who have well over 1,000 restaurants online for himself. So, but that's the kind of thing. But you have to work at it. There's no shortcuts to any of this stuff. It's you have to be, first of all, passionate about your business. You have to love what you're doing, and by and large, all of you do. I get text messages every day, how fired up you guys are, how much you love the company, all the things that are part of building a business, and you're all involved. But we need to put the pedal to the metal right now, and speed up the process so we can get going. So we got our eyes on Canada, we got our eyes on Chicago, got our eyes all through the whole state of Florida, Atlanta. Once we start securing these and really ramping up Nashville the way we want, then I think you'll start seeing huge momentum start growing. A lot of it's going to be organic, I'll bet. Once these restaurants hear the kind of money that they're going to save, it's a staggering proposition for them.
And for Florida, this is part of the deal you can use the market tracker for. This is for you. You look at Florida on the market tracker, there's a lot of drivers in Miami, Palm Beach, well, not West Palm Beach, but south of that. Fort Lauderdale, there's a lot of drivers. There's not a lot of restaurants. So if somebody was down there and would just get some restaurants, I mean, that market's ready to go for drivers.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many drivers.
There's 9,000 or 10,000 restaurants between those markets. I mean, there's more restaurants than you can open. And the rule of thumb is after a year, we should be at about 10% market share. So if there's 10,000 restaurants in a market, we should at least have 1,000 of them signed up with us. And that's, significantly substantial amount of volume. Want to give a big shout out once again to Dwayne and Jonathan for doing an unbelievable job this past 3 or 4 days. When the snow hit in Nashville, every restaurant was shut down, and the next day they were starting to wake up, and we needed drivers to fulfill some orders. Dwayne jumped in, Jonathan jumped in.
Because what happened, our ghost kitchen down there
Yeah.
called us and they wanted to know if we were open. And Evelyn said, well, we're open if you're open.
Yeah.
And he said, well, all the other food deliveries are closed.
Yeah, we were the only one
Yeah.
operating in the market the day after the snow hit.
Yeah.
So, comp plan documents should be finished up Monday, Tuesday. We'll get those reposted. They're almost, I mean, they're done. They're already programmed into the system, but we just need to get the documents cleaned up. There was some confusion on some of it, how it worked. So we got all that cleaned up. What was the other thing I was going to
Michael Rupkalvis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Michael did some beautiful leave behind documents for you guys. So there's nothing to do but put your QR code on there and go to market with it. I think we're going to post them up in the back office. And
Yeah. We'll get them in on the Facebook group today.
Yeah.
And then this week we'll get them in the back.
Yeah. And then you just print them out. So there's nothing for you to make. It's all made up. You know, it's very professional. Michael is just a talented guy, and he really understands the space. He's been doing a great job recruiting drivers like crazy.
You do have to put your QR code.
Yeah, you have to put your QR code on it, but the rest of it's done.
Yeah. There are a couple questions.
Few questions. Tony's not here today. I think
he was going skiing.
Yeah, I think he went skiing. So he's probably in good shape, having a good time up there in the mountains.
With no service.
Yeah, no service.
That's the goal when you go on vacation. No service.
Leave your phone at home.
Cheryl says, where do we find the market tracker?
Okay, you go in the back office and you'll see
there's a tab.
A tab that says market tracker. You click on it and you'll be amazed. You can zoom right in on a city. You can zoom in on the United States. You can hit the world, but it's all live data pumping through there with our information. I did not dump any of the 108,000 people that we have in we're starting from a clean database. We'll use that database to go, mine and market to people for drivers and things like that. And those are all in, most of you that have been around, a lot of that information is under my people in your back office. So use that to go after people.
Can you please explain the difference between signing up a driver for free, which doesn't exist, versus signing up a free customer, and why getting the dollar from a driver is important?
Yeah, the reason for getting $1 from the driver and $1 from the restaurant is it activates the account. We know that the card's alive. We know it's not a bogus person. It verifies a whole bunch of stuff for us. It gets the driver in line to get their documents done so they can get approved. Unfortunately, a lot of people get about halfway through the sign-up process as a driver. They walk away to go do something. They forget to go back. Every driver that gets rejected by us has at least 4 to 5 text and email messages exactly what's missing, like the date of the insurance is expired or the picture didn't come out properly. It's mostly stuff like that. Most of these people are getting rejected, not because of anything that they've done in their past. It just has to do with the documentation isn't clear. So that's one of the reasons why we do that. And what was the other question?
The difference between signing up as a driver or a customer.
Yeah, there's no the driver. So we're clear on this also. Nobody drives for free the first 30 days. They drive for the first 30 days and they pay at the end of the 30 days. It's not that it's free, because if it was free, they wouldn't be paying at the end of the month. What we're trying to do is give everybody, so let's say you sign up, it costs you nothing to sign up. You don't have to pay any money other than $1. That's just so we can validate everything, right? So when we get ready to activate a market, we know the drivers that are there, but a lot of the drivers, because of COVID, are struggling financially. So we say, okay, you can drive for 30 days. You start getting your commissions off rides every day, off every delivery. Every day comes right to you through your mid, right into your bank account. So you get to collect all your fees during the month before you ever pay for the service. Does that make sense? Then you pay for the service at the end of the month, and you drive the next full month, and then you pay again at the end of the month. You don't pay up front like most SaaS business models. Like Netflix will ask you to pay when you sign up, right? Because you're going to start using the service, watching movies or whatever. So we're just like them. We're a subscription-based business. We choose to help the driver not to have any expense in the front end and let him put some money in his pocket before he has to either pay $39.99 or $99.99. And when you think about it, if you're doing, as a side hustle, 75 deliveries a month, you should be against that 39. You should be probably grossing somewhere around $700 to $900 on that. And then it's unlimited on the other side. So if you're doing 300, 400 deliveries a month, and you're working full time, you can see what the money you generate.
Can I add on to that?
Sure.
So this is from customer service. If you are not going to drive, you should not even have the driver app on your phone. And that's because there's a lot of reasons for that. But the main reason is once you log into the driver app and start the process, you create a MID so that you're getting paid, you're getting a merchant account. So that's the reason it moves over to make you a driver. So if you're never going to drive, don't even download that app. You don't need to even worry about that app. Take it off your phone.
Yeah, it also says when you start to before you log in as a driver, you download your app as a driver. And it says, if you're not sure that you want to be a driver, do not click on this. Yeah. So we're trying to make it easy with little bits of instructions so you guys can understand what's going on. But like Amy said, do not download the app if you're not going to be a driver. Because I'll give you an example. The other day we got, some complaint from one of the people out there and said, my app doesn't work. Well, he signed up on a driver app and that's what he was going to. He was confused. So, and we get that a lot, believe me.
Yes. The other thing I just remembered is we are adding your MID information for you drivers.
Right.
And it will also be in the restaurant merchant panel for the restaurants. So if you would have to change your information
your
for
banking,
your direct deposit, you will need that information to contact Click.
Yeah.
And we do send you the information for Click also.
Yeah.
So you will contact them yourself. They will need some information from you, but they will also need this MID that should be back there this week.
Yeah.
The other thing we're adding this week that I forgot, it's in right now in progress. The pop-up that says they're not open in your market.
Oh yeah. So there's a big confusion about, somebody says, oh, your system doesn't work. This system works. We only have one market up Nashville, and the surrounding markets. So we don't have every market in the United States up, obviously, for a reason. They're not open yet. So when you go on it's geo-target. So if I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, what I'm going to get is wherever I'm sitting in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's going to show me exactly where I'm sitting, and it won't have any information on the restaurant. So if you want to see what's going on in Nashville, just type in Nashville on the bar, and you'll find the information you want.
And you can order food for someone in Nashville.
And I'd recommend for all of you to go on and learn about these systems. If you're going to sell this as a restaurant, I had a call yesterday from a good friend of mine. She wanted me to look at somebody else's delivery service in Nashville, and I looked at it, and it's no different than what we do. It's just you guys got to be inquisitive about your business. Go on My Trip Delivers and go on Trip Delivers. Trip Delivers is the marketplace. That's where all the restaurants reside. All their information, their menus are on there. All the information is there when somebody signs up, as a restaurateur. So all of that's there. We put menus up within a day or two. We're getting ready to load some in South Florida. It'll take us a day or two to get all the different ones up that we want.
The other thing I just remembered. So for us to be able to load the restaurant menus for them, when you sign them up, they need to create their MID, the merchant account.
Right.
Because that's how we can get into their merchant panel to
right.
get their so we're contacting you individually if we need to ask you that to do that. But just so you know, you can go ahead and get the merchant account for them.
So these are just nuances of the business that you need to learn about how this works. And it's not complicated, believe me. It's pretty simple stuff.
See, this is why I said you got to be careful what you said.
Right.
Now Ara says, so now we can open any market with 30 restaurants?
No, Iris, that isn't what I'm talking about, because
These are little markets.
these are little markets. It's 30 restaurants. Go on Google, type in Morehead City, and you'll see how big it is. You know, it's very small. You can walk around the whole town probably in 30 minutes, right? It's a resort town, but there happens to be a concentration of restaurants there, and she wants to open because she lives there. So why not? Or in Napa, why not? When we get to the bigger markets like San Francisco, we need to have, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of restaurants, you know, in each one of these markets to get open. Now we'll probably do that in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Restaurant Managers has over 1,000 restaurants in just those two markets. So you light up those, you light up the others. You know, you have a substantial amount of restaurants. But in the case of Nashville, we need 300, 350 restaurants, and we still need about 150, 200 to go. So, so I would recommend, if you guys are, you know, have enough bandwidth down there, to keep going after restaurants. The other thing we had, by the way, we had some of the people that are signing restaurants up think once they sign them up, they have to do nothing else anymore, like service the restaurant or answer a phone call from the restaurant or any of that stuff. You're sadly mistaken. You represent Trip Deliver's brand. And if we don't do a good job on the customer service side, we look horrible. And we're the newest guy on the block. Why would somebody go with us? Okay, we got superior pricing, but no support, no help, you know. So we had that happen, and we put that person on notice. And there is guidelines in the back office that are published of what we expect. These are very lucrative deals that if you had 100 restaurants, you'd make well into 150,000 a year with 100 restaurants. That's not chopped liver. It's a mid six-figure number. And that's, you know, you have to work at it. And we expect you to take care of the restaurants, our customers, your customers, because that's where you make your money, the right way. And if you're not capable of doing that, then we'll have to have talk about that.
So that means even if you don't live where the restaurant you is signed up,
yeah,
then you still have to help them. We've been sending Dwayne around to
Dwayne's
help all these
done a
restaurants.
super job with
But
these restaurants.
If you're in San Diego and your restaurant's in Nashville, you got to get on a Zoom with them, do a screen share. They're still your restaurant.
And if you need help, then get a hold of support, and then we'll reach into the market. Like we'll get Dwayne. We have people in other markets we can reach out to that can help. So you got to be proactive. You can't just think, oh, I signed the guy up and I'm done. I'm just collecting, you know, stamps. And you're not. You've got to be proactive. What was the thing I've talked about so many times about brand protection? You know, so Trip Delivers is a brand. We're trying to build that as a nationwide brand. We need to protect that. And the word that the people will develop about the companies, they can trust us to pick up their food, get it delivered properly, got a fair price for them. You know, the person that signs them up, the referral business partner of ours, you know, they're making money. So there's plenty to be made here. And ask Lori how much she's going to be making once she gets up and running with her 30 restaurants. And I guarantee you she'll be in those restaurants every week and treating it like it's her business, because it is her business.
Eric says, does the refer and earn tab in consumer app has disappeared? Is that correct?
No.
So Eric, you became a driver. I still haven't heard back if you went back in and finished your driver enrollment. I know they were chasing you like 2 weeks ago because there was things that you needed to finish for your driver enrollment. So they send you emails and texts and push messages, I think about 6 of them. And then after that, it's up to you to get back on your driver app and finish. So once you go over there to the driver app, the reason this happens, your refer and earn is on the customer app. If you refer and earn from your customer app, you get 30%. That's how that works. Now you've moved over in your driver, and depending if you're a side hustle driver or a pro driver, you're going to get, well, or a marketer is more, but I'm saying, so that's the reason you refer from your driver, you're getting that, you become a marketer over there. So yeah, so once you log in the driver app, you start the driver process. If you don't want to drive, Eric, you need to contact support and we will put you back on the customer app. So yes, you're right. It has disappeared because you have logged into
But
the
it's
driver.
but when it disappears, it transfers over to the driver app. So you do have a refer and earn tab, but it's now under the driver app. So you don't have to go back and forth to do the same stuff. But if you don't want to drive, you did it by mistake, then just let us know and we'll unpack that, get you back over onto the right side of the app.
And we'll erase the mid for you because your mid has been created even though you haven't finished your driver.
Yeah.
So there's a whole process.
Just so you know, we have a patent on the way we do the mid. We filed a patent on that because we're the only one in the industry that's been able to kind of do this.
Laurel has a question about her photo. I don't know the answer to that, Laurel. The photo is different in her app than her back office. Go ahead and email support about that one. How about a resort island that happens to be the top 5 income per capita? Yes, let's go to the island.
What island is it?
Oh, I hope it's a warm one. Yeah. Bora Bora.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, we could do restaurants there.
Leonard is asking Lori, how far away is Morehead City to Wilmington?
That's a good question. Probably not that far, I wouldn't think. North Carolina to Wilmington, Delaware. I think Morehead's right on the Outer Banks, just starts.
It's just south of the Outer Banks,
yeah.
Yes.
So, Any more questions?
I don't think so. Oh, wait, Miles Daniel, what will be the process for a restaurant when customer says something on their order is missing? So we have added, the driver takes a photo.
Yeah.
And when they deliver the order, you mean like when they're making the order, Miles? We are adding in this week, it's called Hippo.
Yeah.
It's a thing on our app. We're getting to the point where we're starting to get back to the merchant app again. So what will happen is all the apps will be able to communicate with each other, basically.
Right.
So
that's what Hippo does.
Yeah, the restaurant will be able to text the customer and say, hey, we're out of chicken. Do you want beef instead or whatever? So that is something we're working on.
Yeah, and that should be.
It's not a hard thing to get on, I would say.
It's probably
I hate to give a date.
Probably 10 days out. It's not a big deal. It's just the last bit of project stuff we're building out. So we're almost done with everything that you can imagine. Getting Canada up hasn't been that difficult. It's just learning some of the things that we had to do that we didn't really understand, like the SIN and SSN number, a few things on the backup on how the connectivity works from the US to Canada on the payment processing side. There's some nuances that we had to figure out. There's a lot of little nuances that go along with this stuff. So every time we do something, we learn a little bit more. But still, if you think about it, we're basically in 30 days, we've been working on Canada, and it's, the basic site we've got done in about 3 days. It's always the little stuff that we've had to kind of go back and look at.
Chantel, those flyers will be in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And then we'll get them in the back office this week.
Yeah. And when you see him, you're going to be very impressed. Michael does a beautiful job. He's been a really, really great asset to just helping everybody in the field. He's not asking to be paid or any of that stuff. He wants to help people.
Deborah says, confirming a Zoom call with you today. Do you know about that?
I have no idea.
Deborah.
Is that Deborah from Chicago?
Yeah.
Hi, Deborah from Chicago.
Deborah
I have no idea.
An email.
I don't know who set it up.
I didn't put it on his schedule, so it's not on there.
Yeah, so.
Does South Florida Island qualify for 30 or more?
Which one?
South Florida Island.
I don't know where.
Is that like Key West?
Yeah. Is it one of the islands in the Keys?
I didn't do good at geography.
But yeah, just let us know. I mean, it's wherever you feel like you can make a presence and do business.
Will we add PayPal or Cash App?
No, we don't need to have a lot of different. Look, e-wallet's almost done. When that's up and running, you'll see how easy it is to get paid. It's ridiculous. Again, we had to make some modifications to it for Canada.
Also, restaurant owner has grocery store who wants to know if available.
Yeah, well, the grocery app is actually live right now. We turned it off.
We had
a grocery order the other day. We want to go after the grocery business, believe me. But let's go figure out how to do the food side, restaurant side first, and go get, 15, 20 markets open. Then we can backfill into those existing markets. We already have a presence and a brand. And we say, oh, we're going to launch the, grocery app. And then boom, you're in the market. Now you just got to go out and light up grocery stores. Or the consumer can order directly from the grocery store and just designate us to pick up the order. So that's the cleanest way to do it. So they, the consumer just says, hey, will you go pick up this order for me at Walmart or Smith's or whoever it might, whoever it might be, Kroger's, and it's that simple. So, but we want to do that when we're really loaded in these markets and have a brand awareness and that we're doing deliveries and pickups and all that kind of stuff.
Leonard said, do we have to have a physical office in Canada?
We don't have to. We're not required to, but we will. It's just a matter of, I don't want to go opening an office right now because of the COVID. I've been talking to Ryan up there. I'm pretty up to speed on where COVID is, and they're still in a lockdown up there. So that's the reason I didn't fly up there I do everything remotely to get open up there. I was going to originally just jump on a plane, but then they would put me in quarantine for, I don't know,
days.
It's either 3 days or 4. I think if you're Canadian, it's 3 days. And if you're not, I think it was 14 days or something. Well, I just couldn't go up there for 14 days and hang out. So anyway, so that, yeah, we will have an office up there in Toronto. Probably not for another couple months. Once we find out what's going on with COVID up there and once they open the market up, I think they're going to. I mean, the COVID rates are dropping here in the States. I haven't looked at Canada, but I'm assuming they're probably following a very similar pattern.
Ryan says, does the restaurant and the customer have the driver's info once an order is assigned?
Yes, we can track exactly who the driver is. All of the information is there.
And one thing to note, I don't know if you want to say this, but the photo you take is given to the restaurant.
Yeah.
So some of you need to put a shirt on.
Yeah. Yeah. This is really funny. So a couple of guys took their photos and they didn't have any shirts on. So I don't know if they're just like, we're trying to be funny or what, but
that photo, the restaurant's going to see it.
Yeah. So is half the world.
So they know what you look like.
So try to just put a t-shirt on if you have to.
Missing items after the delivery is made versus not having the item while it's still being made at the restaurant.
What's that?
So missing items after the delivery, the customer would contact the restaurant. And then during the delivery, that's why we're adding in the HIPPO. They'll all be able to communicate with each other through the app. The restaurant can communicate with the customer can communicate with the restaurant can communicate with the driver can communicate. All of them will be able to talk.
All basically text message instantly,
push message through the app. Yeah.
So it's great. That'll be hooked up shortly.
Mm-hmm. Deborah says Tony set it up yesterday. Okay, well.
Set what up?
Set up a meeting with you yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Okay. Well, he didn't tell us.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. Let me see. I mean, it's very well I could have missed it. Hold on.
And then that's it. No more questions.
Oh no. It said Chicago, so I thought it was Deborah. I don't have anything here, Deborah. I can do a call on Monday if you like. Did she answer?
No. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Deborah, if you're there, just hit me up with the email and I can confirm something on Monday with you. Yeah. So probably Tony set it up, but he's trying to get it out of town. So he probably, I just looked to see if I had any emails regarding that, and I didn't have any. So let's do Monday. Whatever works for you is good for me.
Harry says Canada does not have the quantity of vaccines the US has. Well, neither does Nevada. We're like the lowest state of vaccines in Nevada. Deborah said, okay.
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 Yeah, just hit me up, and then whatever works for you, Deborah, just put down a time and send me your number, and you might even be in my book. I don't even have to look it up, but send me your number and then I'll text you back, and then we can do a call very easily. I would do it today, but I've got other stuff I've got planned. I got to get some sun outside today. No, I'm only kidding. So
we do try to take a little bit of time off on the weekend.
Yeah, once in a while. Anyway, that's all we got. I just want to thank everybody for their really, really hard work this last week. I know the snowstorm has been just traumatic in the, Texas markets all the way through Tennessee, all that stuff. Oh, everybody, Chance wants to say hello.
Oh, he was eating dirt.
I know.
Chance,
yeah.
Get dirt on your mouth.
He's our little kid. He's a quite a little funny guy. He's not little, he's about 60 pounds. Anyway, everybody, listen, you have a great fun weekend. We'll catch up with you next Saturday. Hopefully by, Monday, Tuesday, we should get Canada open and get that rocking. That's all I got. You guys did a phenomenal job. Lori, I want to give you special kudos again for doing a heck of a job. You're just phenomenal. And more of you are going to keep doing. You're going to find ways to get up and running in small markets, and then you graduate to bigger markets and bigger markets. So just keep pushing ahead. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great Saturday.